the starter's orders here, and the green line's flashing. Round comes the Bunny in Bright Sunshine here at Addington, and Not So Cute, the hot favourite, steps from box 1, just about there. And racing, Not So Cute, astride slow. Driving out would have been Gold Star Chumley. Up and around the outside comes Gin Sling. Now Not So Cute gets the run through, and also driving through was You Know Nosy. 1 or 2 scatter wide. Big John Cannon's very wide coming up to the corner. Well back is You Know Nosy now with another plane. Not So Cute kicks right away on Gold Star Chumley. Not So Cute, Gold Star Chumley, and forced Kiwis dash through into third. That was quite a nice debut. And they'd be followed back behind those runners then by Gin Sling, Big John Cannon, You Know Nosy, who got into a bit of trouble. Well back then we had towards the rear of the field another plane and a Hoka Too Soon. Not So Cute does make good use of box 1. Didn't step particularly quickly, but when they fanned wide across the top, he drove through quite nicely. A Hoka Too Soon was slow to go, so was another plane. Just about set. And they race. Homebush Radar was astride slow. Colby Boy comes out quickly with Look at Lucy, and then driving up was Bo's Business right up behind them. They'll be followed then trying to push through Wax Eyes Big Kid, followed around then by Gold Star China and Come On Dolly as they swing the corner. Homebush Radar's got well back. Colby Boy in front and holding Look at Lucy. Colby Boy beats Look at Lucy. Bo's Business third. Homebush Radar got into fourth, and they'd be followed back and behind those runners then by Come On Dolly and Wax Eyes Big Kid and Gold Star China. Colby Boy too good for the Colby Boys Syndicate there to win with Colby Magic last night. They jumped well, the favoured pair, but Colby Boy held the inside running and put a bit of a space here on the 6. Bo's Business ran up like it was, well, meaning business, and ran into the leaders really. And that put it back a couple of lengths, but certainly worth looking at out of this race. And the other 4 were in a bit of a jumble, to be fair, and Homebush Radar got spat forward on the corner. And they race. Gold Star Magic steps well, so does Gold Star Rosie, and True Blue Style goes hard early. No judges there too, and so's Voussoir. And right around the outside, Gold Star Junior. Gee, tight at the first bend. Now one's run off there, and that's Purple Pride's disappeared at the first bend, and also getting right back was No Rights. Now down the back straight they go, and Gold Star Rosie in front from Gold Star Magic. No judges just in behind them. They'd be followed then by Voussoir trying to get around the outside of Gold Star Junior, who hunts the rail now. Further back to True Blue Style, and further back to No Rights. Up they come. Gold Star Magic drives through the inside. No judge Leighton driving through on the inside too. Gold Star Junior, Gold Star Magic, Gold Star Junior, and No Judge. I'll go in that order, but gee, they were tight. They're in an absolute heap at the line. Close up and behind those runners then, we would have had Gold Star Rosie right there. True Blue Style, No Rights was back, and running off at the first bend was Purple Pride, and I don't believe it finished. Good finish here, particularly for the minors. Gold Star Magic's driven through to win, and then Gold Star Junior snuck right along the inside for a Quinella for Stephen and Bonnie Evans. Nearly there, and racing. And Laredo strides slow, now drives through on the inside. Dusty Rider got out well. Business Review is trying to push through as Laredo goes to the lead. Bluey Rafiro trying to hunt through on the inside. Up on the outside of that was Black Crow. Very wide out on the track there was Gold Star DJ and Homebush Rowdy. Up comes Laredo, comfortably clear on Business Review. Grabs second. Black Crow, I think, just third, and Dusty Rider fourth. And if that's the way, they were the first 4 first starters. Bluey Rafiro back in behind them. Followed back in the race by Gold Star DJ and Homebush Rowdy, and our Charlotte Never in the call. Gee, it did really tighten it up, didn't it? Laredo on the tote there, but in the end it's been worthwhile. Not the best of beginnings. Managed to stay underneath Dusty Rider, who began the best. Our Charlotte was up there handy, got spat back at that point there. Gold Star DJ running very wide, Laredo off for the prize. The time will be interesting. Business Review holding down second, and then the battle on for the Miners here. And I thought Black Crow over on the outside has nutted out Dusty Rider in the first. And they race. Harper Rose gets away fairly well, so does Even 7 trying to drive across, and that allows Harper Rose to go to a clear lead. Even 7's about 5 lengths back in second, and Grunt Rogers third around that first bend. Toddy's a Flyer runs up the inside. They'll be followed around then by Cutie Picks. Just a little bit awkward around that first bend was No Ambition, but yeah, balances up and starts to run now. And a gap back the others are Hoka Taylor Girl Magic across the top. Harper Rose by 6. Even 7 holding down second, then Grunt Rogers. No Ambition's running on further back to Cutie Picks. Toddy's a Flyer, and the others are Hoka Taylor Girl Magic. No chance. Down comes Harper Rose, wins well. Grunt Rogers got up for second from Even 7. Then No Ambition might have come to the end of it, but a good fresh up run nonetheless. Toddy's a Flyer led the other division in, followed in then by Cutie Picks, Girl Magic and a Hoka Taylor. Gee, good run from Harper Rose. Really was set up early by Even 7 coming across the face of the field, and Harper Rose just had a solo trial to the first bend, and Even 7 was having trouble working across to the rail and was getting clipped from in behind, and might have taken the punch out of Even 7's finish because Grunt Rogers has got over the top, and it's been a nice run from it. Even 7 third, and No Ambition showed good speed mid-race there, and it would have to be improved by that, its first run since September. Head-on shot, you'll see the 7 work across the field here. They race. A Hoka Hope, a fair break, ditch bound straight to the front though. Editorial gets out quite nicely too. Now a Hoka Hope switches out around them. They'd be followed then by Impersonator. Tucked up around the outside comes Hurricane Sandy. They'll be followed back in the race then by Marty McMoth, Gold Star Brady, Homebush Jagger. Up they come. Editorial's going to do it today. Runs away by 3 lengths to score from Ditched. Impersonator into third was pretty good first up. Then a Hoka Hope followed back by Hurricane Sandy. Marty McMoth back in the piece. Alongside of that, Gold Star Brady and Homebush Jagger never got into it today. Well, if you hung in there, well done. It's been probably worth the wait, I suppose, at $4.50. Jumped well, got dragged right into the race with Ditched hopping out well too, and Editorial matching Modus to the first bend, driving to the lead. A Hoka Hope switched out around them and then sort of used up quite a bit of ground, and that allowed Impersonator to get underneath it, turning for home. Homebush Jagger never in the hunt, and nor was Gold Star Brady on debut. And racing, Miss Selfie steps pretty well the inside. Corborn Aries gets into it early, and here's Hyper Paradise coming across Amber Light, who's about midfield going around that first bend. Miss Selfie's through on the inside. 1 or 2 scattering wide here. Runaway Taxi's got back beyond the midfield with Botany Comet. Mr. Johnny scrambled around that first bend, and Corborn Aries has got shuffled right out the back. Hyper Paradise in front by about 3 to 4 here, giving chases Gold Star Bomber. Over on the outside then to Amber Light. Further back in the race then we've got Runaway Taxi. Miss Selfie's heads the others and running on a bit. Corborn Aries again, but Hyper Paradise will see it through. Amber Light got close, ran for a Fahey Quinella. Into third late there would have been Runaway Taxi, was quite a nice run. And behind those runners then would have been Gold Star Bomber, just got a wee bit tired late in the piece. Behind those runners we would have had Corborn Aries, who recovered from a shuffle not too badly. Botany Comet was well back. Mr. Johnny may have beaten that one in. Number 9, Hyper Paradise. Tim Keynes and Jean and Dave Fahey combination strike again. Fahey Quinella here with Amber Light running to second. And then Runaway Taxis run over the top of Gold Star Bomber. They're now under racing. Angel Noir comes out with them. A bounds there early too, and driving through on the inside would have been Carbootle to be in the early party. Getting right across them, Angel Noir. A bound gives chase. They'll be followed through then by Marbella. The others have been scattered. Carbootle is the next of those. Over on the outside of that would have been another Rule, and further out then to Slingo, but down comes Angel Noir and wins very easily from a bound second to Marbella third. Fairly tight for third. Carbootle was there. Another Rule wasn't too far away. Close up too would have been Slingo. Winnie Willow was never in the call with plagiarism. And they race. Homebush Coral a fair break. Corborn Abbey though burns to the lead. Dream Academy tries to come out after it. Botany Seaton's working across towards the rail. Homebush Coral shots it out of that spot though, and over on the outside pushing forward there would have been Opawa Bomb into the midfield. Botany Seaton goes back behind that now. Further back in the race then Mulberry Brook. Corborn Crazy's a long way from them, so is Rocky Baxter. Corborn Abbey thinks off for the prize, although Dream Academy starts to eat into its lead. It's 4 lengths away. There's 6 lengths back. The others are headed by Homebush Coral, and further back Opawa Bomb and Mulberry Brook. Up comes Corborn Abbey, wins easily. Dream Academy second. Homebush Coral nails down third. Ahead then of Opawa Bomb. They'll be followed by Botany Seaton, Rocky Baxter, the last pair, Corborn Crazy, Mulberry Brook. She's really got an affinity here. She seems to pick the jump. She hears the lure. And she just loves running around here. Be interesting to see what sort of a time she's run. 30.37. You look at the form, you think, well, she shouldn't win that easily, but it's now 4 from 5 on this track. Dream Academy got a bit of strength about it, and I thought maybe might close that gap a bit, but didn't really. Nearly there. Racing and getting away nicely there would have been Advanced Pedro. Maker's Label there early too, and another Hunter driving up and around the outside then cops a bit of a check. They'll be followed then. We've got Maker's Labels driven right through to the lead here. Back and behind these runners we've got Monaco Denver pushing through on the rail. Another Hunter's been shuffled back behind that. Further back on the race the Big Muddy Conaloo. Down they come. Maker's Label will score. Pretty rough affair. Red Hot Fury gets another minor placing. Another Hunter I think got to third somehow. Followed over then by Advanced Pedro, who was shoved around in the race. Big Muddy as well. Conaloo well back with Pepperita and Force never really in the picture. Quite an ugly race. Right result if you're stuck with Maker's Label, but another Hunter I thought was going to push to the lead here, then it just copped a wee tap from in behind. Red Hot Fury drove to the lead. Maker's Label came underneath that. And back and behind them, Advanced Pedro going fairly. Second last here this afternoon. Ready there? And racing, Cherry Crusher a fair break. Powerline meet out well too, and a Run for Sophie goes hard around the outside. We Terror between these runners. Kenny's Comet up and around the outside. Mophead gets well back, so too Greavy Leo. And out the back door is Quattro up to the corner. Powerline meet the inside. Run for Sophie the outside. They've cleared out on We Terror. Good battle this. Ooh, Run for Sophie just the outside, I think, from Powerline meet, but the judge can have it. Back and behind them then to We Terror. Followed across Kenny's Comet. Close up there too would have been Cherry Crusher when they crossed. Groovy Leo was well back along there with Mophead and Quattro. Good go this. Favoured the outside runner. And I just visually thought it had anyway, and then Dad was saying earlier, favour the outside anyway. So it's actually been reasonably comfortable in the end when you look at that. Lure up to the lids and we're set to go. And racing, Girl Pride away fairly the inside. Best out was another groom, drives to a clear lead. Behind them we've got Mama Lou and up and around the outside to Blickling Bridge. Pedro Force gets badly checked there. Girl Pride the inside. Maximum Jewel around the outside. A Power Idol starting to make up some ground. Rob's made out the back. Another groom in front giving chase here. Blickling Bridge. Another groom sees it through from Blickling Bridge. Third over on the inside then would have been Girl Pride. Just up beside it was Maximum Jewel. And that'd be followed back and behind those runners, Mama Lou. Behind them, we would have had Rob's mate, A Power Idol might have beaten that in. And just felt I missed one there, but it was Pedro Force, I think, that I was calling in the straight here. Comfortable lead for another groom, had won it off the lids. And Blickling Bridge was getting quite close at the line. It's run a nice race, and then tight third with Girl Pride through on the inside of Maximum Jewel. And racing, trumped up the inside, gets away fairly. Onesie beats it out, and the Gold Star Genie up the outside trying to press across. They'd be followed by Nitro Express. So Power Shaden up and around the outside. Well back in the race to Archie's Comet and Star Gun. Up to the corner they come, and Gold Star Genie's in front. Onesie comes hard the inside. Gold Star Genie from Onesie. Close up third would have been Nitro Express, and back in behind them to trumped up. Further back in the race, Archie's Comet. Back beside that, Power Shaden and Star Gun. And racing, Rockwood Archie was slow and last out. Driving up to the lead there would have been Glenna's Goodsy, and Summer Love goes with it early. They'd be followed up and around the outside with good strides. McJobson totally toasted, trying to get around them too. They'd be followed back in the field then by another Opawa Laz is well back. Up they come here. Glenna's Goodsy in control. Will score from McJobson. Totally toasted got to third. They'd be followed across by Summer Love. Opawa Laz back behind them with Homebush Zelda back when they crossed, and McJobson.